Welcome, Fact Finders, to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're diving into a world where science fiction meets your dinner plate and then goes on to save the planet. We're talking about edible robotics. Yes, you heard that right. Robots that can perform complex tasks and then, instead of becoming waste, simply biodegrade or even get eaten. Sounds wild, doesn't it? Stick around as we unpack how these munchable, or at least environmentally friendly machines could revolutionize how we monitor our planet. So, why even dream up robots you could theoretically snack on? The main driver is a huge global problem: electronic waste. Think about all the traditional monitoring devices out there. They're often packed with non-biodegradable plastics and electronics. When their mission ends, they contribute to pollution. Edible robots, constructed from food-grade and biodegradable materials, offer a fantastic alternative. They can do their job, say, monitoring a remote forest or a sensitive coral reef, and then naturally decompose or even become a harmless meal for wildlife. This is especially brilliant for environments where retrieving old devices is difficult, disruptive, or just plain impossible. Now let's peek into the science kitchen, where these incredible devices are conceptualized. This isn't just one field. It's an exciting mix of materials, science, electrical engineering, food science, and robotics. For the actual bodies of these robots, researchers are getting creative with materials like gelatin, rice cakes, potato starch, and cellulose derivatives. Imagine drones with wings made of rice cakes glued together with gelatin. Scientists at the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne, or EPFL, have even developed aquatic robots from a modified fish food compound. These are designed to be tough and resilient in water, and then, ultimately, consumable by marine life. But what about movement? For actuators, the parts that enable movement, gelatin-based polymers, are being explored to create artificial muscles. The tricky part is achieving enough elasticity and durability while keeping them edible and, well, palatable if that's the goal. And how do these robots sense the world around them? With edible sensors, of course. Researchers are developing these using materials like conductive inks made from activated carbon mixed with gummy bears. Yes, gummy bears. They're also leveraging the natural semiconducting properties of food dyes, pigments from fungi, and even super thin gold leaf. These ingenious sensors can detect all sorts of things: pH levels, temperature, light, bending, and even the presence of specific pollutants or microorganisms. Powering these edible explorers is another fascinating challenge. A major breakthrough comes from the Italian Institute of Technology, or IIT. They've created a rechargeable edible battery. The anode uses riboflavin, that's vitamin B2, and the cathode uses quercetin, a compound found in almonds and capers. Activated carbon helps with electron transfer. A piece of nori seaweed acts as a separator, and the whole thing is encapsulated in beeswax. It's like a high-tech, power-packed vitamin pill. Simpler, temporary power can also come from common food ingredients and supplements. Okay, so they have bodies, sensors, and power. How do they actually get around? For aquatic robots, EPFL scientists are using something called the Marangoni effect. This is where a change in surface tension propels the robot. They achieve this with a chemical reaction, like citric acid and sodium bicarbonate producing carbon dioxide, which then expels a biodegradable fuel like propylene glycol. This reduces surface tension behind the robot and pushes it forward, much like how some aquatic insects skim across water. One of the most beautiful aspects of edible robotics is their eco-impact. The core principle is that materials digestible by humans or animals are also inherently biodegradable in nature. This means these robots are designed to leave no harmful residues. An edible drone, perhaps made from potato starch carrying sensors, could monitor a remote area and then simply biodegrade, unlike its plastic and metal counterparts. So where could we see these eco-friendly robots in action? The applications are incredibly promising. Think about water quality monitoring, deploying edible aquatic robots to collect data on pH, temperature, pollution levels, and microorganism presence in lakes, rivers, and coastal regions. Or wildlife monitoring and support, using edible robots to observe animals in remote areas, potentially even delivering nutrients or vaccines. Their edibility means they won't harm animals if accidentally ingested. They're also perfect for surveillance in difficult-to-access areas, like biodegradable drones carrying sensors into dense forests or hazardous zones. Even in agriculture, edible sensors could monitor crop growth and environmental conditions right in the fields. This field is advancing rapidly. The RoboFood project, coordinated by EPFL, is a big EU-funded initiative exploring which edible ingredients can create robot components, aiming to assemble them into fully edible robots for healthcare, nutrition delivery, and, of course, environmental monitoring. Then there's the ELFO project, which stands for Electronic Food, led by IIT. This project focuses on creating circuits and sensors that can decompose safely within the human body for medical applications or in the environment. They're aiming to provide foundational technology for these edible electronic systems with a project completion target of 2025. Despite all this amazing progress, there are still challenges to overcome. Integrating electrical components like batteries and sensors with those that use fluids and pressure for movement, like actuators, into a fully functional and wholly edible system is a major hurdle. Performance and reliability are also key. Edible actuators and energy sources currently don't match the power, endurance, or reliability of their non-edible counterparts. Miniaturization is crucial for making these robots small enough for certain tasks, like internal medical monitoring or discrete environmental deployment. Then, there's shelf life and robustness. Edible components need to withstand environmental conditions like temperature and moisture during their operational lifespan, and have a reasonable shelf life before deployment. Safety and palatability are also important. While many materials are generally regarded as safe, the interactions of multiple components and their overall safety and appeal for consumption, especially by animals in environmental contexts, need more study. And finally, developing edible computational devices, the brains of the robot, using biomaterials that can match the performance of traditional semiconductors, is an ongoing quest. The path forward is exciting. Future developments will likely focus on boosting the performance of edible components, achieving seamless integration of all parts, and scaling up production. Collaborative efforts between researchers in robotics, materials science, food technology, and environmental science are absolutely essential. As this technology matures, edible robots could truly revolutionize environmental monitoring. They offer a sustainable and harmonious way to gather vital data about our planet, leaving no trace but knowledge. Projects like RoboFood and ELFO are paving the way for what some call digital ecology, a future where technology and nature can coexist far more synergistically. So the next time you see a gummy bear or a piece of seaweed, just imagine it might hold the key to a cleaner, greener, and tastier technological future. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. We hope you found these edible innovations as fascinating as we do. Join us next time for more surprising science and fun facts.